Well, we went into the CAA tournament very, very confident, but a little concerned. Jai Lewis, our leading scorer now, our biggest threat in the low post, had one sprained ankle and was hobbled. We opened up tournament play against Georgia State and barely survived in overtime. And during that game, Jai Lewis sprained his other ankle and was basically ineffective. But we pulled out a victory and moved into the semifinals. And there we were to face Hofstra, the team that had just beaten us the week before. It was a very, very tough matchup for us, and they played a great game. With 53 seconds to go, we trailed by 7 points, and Tony Skinn made a huge three to pull us within 4. But then something unexplainable happened. The referee blew his whistle and stopped the action, and Lauren Stokes, the outstanding guard for Hofstra University, lie on the floor in pain. Tony Skinn, who had been guarding Lauren, was called over to our bench. Tony, come over here. Tony came over, and while the referees were reviewing the video, I asked Tony, do you know what happened? And he put his head down and said, yep. I said, what? He said, I punched him. I said, what? Tony Skinn had lost his head for just a split second. Have you ever said something and then the moment you said it, you go, why did I say that? Well, that's exactly what happened. Tony and Lauren Stokes have been battling all game long. Two great players, two great gladiators, battling each other in an epic fight. And Tony lost his head for a moment and punched Lauren. Now, the referees did not see the punch. No technical foul was called. But I decided to remove Tony from the game. And after the game, I suspended Tony for our first game in postseason. The player said, but coach, that could be the NCAA tournament. I said, I know, but every one of you knows our philosophy, attitude, commitment, and class. And Tony did not behave in a first-class manner. Tony understood. He never made an excuse. In fact, he apologized to me and his teammates, to our athletic director, Tom O'Connor, to our president, Dr. Alan Merton, to Lauren Stokes, the player from Hofstra who he had hit. He knew he had made a mistake. At that moment, everybody in the country started speculating of whether or not George Mason would be considered for an at-large bid. And all the experts said, no, they're not good enough, they're too small, they play in too small a conference, they can't compete with the big boys, they certainly can't compete with the big boys with one of their best players, Tony Skinn, out of the lineup, suspended for the first game.
After a huge win at Wichita State, Mason marched into the top 25. Hopes of a tournament berth began to seem more and more like a real possibility. But with the new development of Tony Skinn's suspension, experts began to believe that Mason's tournament hopes were in jeopardy. It would be an anxiety-filled Sunday anticipating their potential selection.
On March 12, 2006, CBS began the selection show at 6 p.m. with Greg Gumbel its host. I invited the entire team to the house to listen to the selection show. My wife, Liz, said, are you crazy? We're probably not getting in. All the experts say we're not getting in. I said, no, we're going to get in. I believe in this team, and I believe we deserve to be in. Everything in my head and in my heart told me that this team deserved to be in the NCAA tournament. Our RPI, the national rankings, had us 24th in the country. No team ranked that high had ever been bypassed. Yet all the experts said we didn't belong, that we wouldn't be invited. Before the selection show began, I turned off the TV, sat the team on the couch. I said, fellas, look, I know you've heard the experts predict that we're not getting in the tournament. Don't believe them. The experts have never seen us play. They have no idea how good we are, how hard you worked, what kind of sacrifices you have made to put us in this position. You are the best basketball team in George Mason history. You're the best darn basketball team I've ever coached. I want you to visualize us getting into this tournament. I want you to visualize us playing great basketball, the best basketball of the season. I want you to visualize us showing the world how good we are. Can you do that? And every player started nodding and said, yeah, yeah. They were all excited, thinking, okay, we're going to get in the tournament and we're going to show everybody how good we are.